Can't stress this enough. If you live in northern Alabama, in the Tennessee Valley, if you live in Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, or Tennessee, a tornado outbreak of historic proportions is coming, and it's coming fast. Historic, likes of that have never been seen before. Tornadoes that are more violent than they have ever been. Everybody needs to be as ready as possible. You can't not be ready for this. These are the types of days in which your risk for damage to your home and your life is so high that it overrides everything else. These are the types of tornadoes that end families. These are the types of tornadoes that track for hundreds of miles and don't care about any single person that they hit. And we're going to go over that today. The new HER run for 12Z, let me reload this. The new HER run for 12Z has just came in. It's continuing to come in as I speak. Like I said, it was showing that we could get rain cooled, that our atmosphere would open up. But as this low develops and the positioning of it gets better and better, I'm afraid it's looking worse and worse for Alabama. And I don't think that'll end. I think that in a little bit, in a couple hours, we'll probably be under at least a moderate risk for all of Alabama and southern middle Tennessee. So we're going to talk about this right now. All right? Storms. Tonight, get ready. They're going to initiate somewhere over here. You see, you got supercells over here, but these will also initiate. All right? Strong, long track, violent tornadoes. All right? Here we go. We're starting off the day strong in middle Mississippi. Long track. Look at these hail swaths. Look at that. That's just disgusting. That's baseball size hail. And then you got all this rain. You're like, oh, we're going to get rain cooled. Yeah, that rain goes by in a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. All right, 5 hours it takes these rain. By the way, at the end of this, we could get some supercellular type thunderstorms. If this were to happen in this pattern, expect long track violent tornadoes for northern Alabama. When is this? This is 23. What is this? Valid 11Z. All right. So this is literally like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. in the morning, and your storms are clearing out. Then look what you're left with. Look at the gross situation that you're left with. Look how many supercells are developing in the warm sector. All right? But look at the clearing that Madison County at least gets. And some of these supercells, as they develop, they start to merge together. Here's one down here. The HER is getting so good at this point that it's starting to, at least 2 days out. It's really not even 2 days out. It's only like, 10, 15 hours out before this actually happens. Is the HER's getting so good at this that it's actually going to start getting the positioning of the thunderstorms correctly. So expect the radar to look like this. These start to fly to the north. And you get this initiation. Then again, you could have some tornadoes in this. I don't expect these tornadoes to be large and violent. I expect these tornadoes to, though. As you see, if you look at the curvature of these thunderstorms, this just isn't good. You're having a lot, especially when you start seeing these little swaths and stuff. Even this one, her is showing a donut hole and crap. It's throwing out all the different supercell shapes, all right? All over this area. Look at Tennessee just getting ravaged by severe weather. But northern Alabama, you're just in thunderstorms, all right? There's still a lot of rain falling. But that rain lifts to the north. And as that rain begins to merge together, and as these thunderstorms, these convection areas begin to merge together, you start getting bigger and bigger storms. You get starting these V-shaped supercells with big hooks and even a little trail here. Got a bunch of trail supercells. You got a stack of supercells over here that are initiating on the Mississippi-Alabama state line. And then you got almost this supercell / severe thunderstorm outbreak going on in northern Mississippi with extra supercells firing on the south side. New Orleans, watch out. Jackson, Mississippi, watch out. These ones are bad. Look at all the curvature. Once you start getting storms that look like upside down bananas, that's when you start getting problems. And you got these on the cold front over here. The cold front still hasn't gone through yet. And you're already getting significant supercell initiation out ahead of that. You got some bigger, more violent supercells. This one over here looks bad. This one over here looks bad too. These are your EF4, EF5 type supercell makers. Those fly to the north, and then the atmosphere clears itself. So these supercells down here and these that are initiating over here, as well as some in front of the line, these could also merge together, produce large, violent, long-track tornadoes. The HRRR kind of showing a squall line, and with the squall line of this intensity, you're looking at 80 to 90 mile an hour winds all along this, with baseball to softball size hail as possible in a squall line of this intensity. And tornadoes, of course, because your environment is very sheared. And to prove that to you, I'm going to go to pivotal weather. What hour is this? This is 34. They're both coming in at different times. I'm going to go to 34. You can just, once I go to 34, you can really see these later Z temperature. You can really see the squall line just carving out just this big temperature change swath. Come over here, you're approaching 68, 66 because of these. But right over here, this is that untapped atmosphere that I'm talking about. All right, this is a sounding right around Athens. And you can just, it's just unbelievable. It's an unbelievable sounding. Little bit warm air aloft. This is likely due to some prefrontal convection. That'll just go away. Your sounding is incredible, all right? Significant supercell things that are coming out, all right? Good cape, 2,000 joules per kilogram there on your forward cape. And then 3 cape, 97, very supportive of supercells. Your SRH, meter squared per second squared, getting pretty high values there. And overall, just a very intense sounding for large, violent tornadoes. And this would be kind of the almost, I wouldn't say, it's the peak for long track violent tornadoes south of the Tennessee River. All right, north, you're going to have some long track violent tornadoes and definitely some bigger supercell thunderstorms. But south, these storms will be even longer and even more violent because they're a little bit more discrete, almost clustering up a little bit. And then they're moving into central Alabama, and they'll be in Georgia by the end of the night. All right, we're going to reboot this thing up, and we're going to go to the HRRR and let's see if we got some new hours. So I'm just going to show you as these come in. It's also loading 13Z at the same time. I haven't seen them done this, but they're, all right, we got all the hours, all right? Let's play it through. Morning convection, strong. Opens up, midday supercells chance. All these supercells, mind you, long track violent tornadoes is a possibility. Fly to the north, squall line opens up, slam. All right, so here we go with the slam. All right, we're going to call this the slam. Squall line, which is not even a squall line, it's just a bunch of supercells that are stacked against each other. All right, flies through. One segment goes to the north, one segment goes to the south. Violent tornadoes in between, and violent tornadoes that are coming out from Birmingham and flying north into Huntsville. You're getting a lot of rain. This rain also, judging by the shape of some of these higher values, likely doesn't exist, and these are just separate thunderstorms that they're all, like, the HRRR is just like, what is going on? All right, that rain, though, diminishes. Atmosphere takes about 1 hour, boots back up to about 70 degrees, and then you get a stack of supercells to move through the northern Alabama counties. And then once that's done, you're still not even all the way done yet, because you still got these supercells down here. You got supercells over here in Mississippi because your values are rebooming. Supercells down south, still got to watch out for these. These are just as dangerous. And just a training. Now you have to watch out for a flood threat and a tornado threat. A training of supercell thunderstorms all heading in the same direction in this way. You can kind of see how those just train against the same area. Once these move out of here, even though most people call your severe weather threat over, I'm still watching for storms that are firing behind this because the actual cold front hasn't moved through yet. And just to show you the final helicity swaths, and these aren't even the final ones. If I go to helicity swaths, you could just see the destruction. Just the mass severe weather outbreak that's about to take place. All right, this is some rough stuff. You're having a ridiculous amount of helicity swaths. Supercell composite values, look how high they are. Look how they just bloom in Madison County. Look at that. You never see stuff like this. All right? All this stuff that develops in Mississippi flies into northern Alabama and gets maxed out and juiced out there. Lightning density, something you gotta watch. Lightning's dangerous, all right? There's so many things to watch in this system. I cannot even fathom it. All right, you get your lightning density in those morning convection. Probably won't be too strong. You start getting these supercells. You start getting these higher lightning density values. And after that, it all explodes with the late afternoon lightning density values. Simulated echo tops. Let's see how strong these storms are. All right, so morning convection, definitely some higher echo tops there. Maybe some supercells. All right, blows up. You get some more supercells to kind of go through. Definitely some taller echo tops, and then massive echo tops to end the day. Even some south of Birmingham, definitely associated with some stronger updrafts. So what is our schedule? Can I play up to 48? It won't let me. All right, so what is our schedule? Let's say you live in the Tennessee Valley, which is where my viewing area is. So we're gonna do a schedule right now, okay? Using the HER. You can also use the NAM. I'll take a look at the NAM. It's probably not going to be the most accurate, but it'll have a good representation, and it definitely has a say. Well, it kind of shows this weird thing. We get definitely some more supercell looking thunderstorms in the morning. Maybe some longer track tornadoes with that. Then after that, you get this wave of rain. Now, this could also intensify as it moves into this environment. And then behind that, here's your main event. You start getting more and more supercellular thunderstorms. And I bet you this is going to move through in about an hour, end up in Scottsboro, and then your atmosphere starts to heat up. And to show you what I'm talking about, now I go to convective and to supercell composite. You can see those values blooming behind this area of rain. So once this area of rain moves through, then you start getting into the good atmosphere. And to show you how good this atmosphere is, I'm going to take a sounding right around Tupelo, Mississippi. Well, can't load the sounding, but this is also very concerning, right, overall. Especially when you start seeing more, like a more widespread warm sector like this. With just that wave of rain that it's showing, can't really predict that, so you don't know what it's going to look like. But your most unstable Cape Shear obviously is going to be in this area, and as this line moves through, your atmosphere gets more and more volatile. So overall, very concerning look. So time for the schedule. All right, so if you live in Tennessee Valley, all right, in the morning, you're probably going to get some rain, some thunder. It's going to look kind of scary. And as those storms start to move through, at the end of that, all right, this is around 5, 6 a.m., you could get some hail, maybe some tornado warnings. That clears north, and you just start getting these supercellular thunderstorms, all right? And there's not really much I can say. It just looks very bad. I'm going to go to Tropical Tidbits for the heck of it, and I'm just going to look at some Tropical Tidbits. It's a good website. We're going to go to Tropical Tidbits, and we're just going to take a look at what it looks like overall for the high resolution model. So there's this model out there. It's called the high resolution, and we're going to look at its 12Z version. As you see, still coming in. Got 38 hours on it, which at this point is enough. So you see, you got the initiation, not forgetting your folks in the Midwest. If you're in Missouri and Iowa, be expecting almost a derecho level storm, all right? There's going to be a storm that goes through that's going to pack a heavy punch with a lot of wind. And that's why you got that such a high moderate risk up there. That moves through. Then the high resolution model is set on having supercells in the morning with not a lot of convection, which would leave more and more room for atmosphere to kind of bubble up. Then as that moves through, you start getting midday convection. You get this kind of big area, a cluster of supercells. But once that goes through, your atmosphere starts warming up, and you get whatever that is later in the day. It looks pretty bad. It's like a big cluster of a lot of thunderstorms that's going to be really nasty to be in. That's the high resolution version of this. We can look at these models, these WRF models that sometimes do a good job of showing this. Okay, so we got 18 hours on this one. You can see at least that initiation of thunderstorms. At WRF, I probably have to go live in the morning because it's showing some bigger supercells that are developing and moving into the Tennessee Valley. Those will carry the threat of tornadoes. I think at this point, it's safe to say that you will get impacted by supercells. There was doubting before this, but there's no doubting now. It's go time. So, have a safety plan in place. You're going to want to program your weather radio correctly. You're going to want to make sure that your safe spot is kind of cleared out and looks nice, and at least it's stayable for days, if not weeks on end, if you're trapped under rubble or something. All right? Because you don't know what it's going to look like. At least be able to stay in there for a couple hours for, say, a tornado warning. I think that there's a chance that we'll get a couple tornado emergencies tomorrow. Tomorrow's probably the highest risk day. And to prove that to you, I'm going to pull up, see if I can get a NATO cast. Most recent NATO cast. All right. Let's see if we got anything on here. Now, you guys, if you can, so yeah, here's the NATO cast page. These are just for random severe weather outbreaks. Yeah, so I don't think I'm going to be able to find it right now. Because they're difficult to find the NATOcast for some reason. I'm just going to look at the severe weather outlooks. Day 2. Day 2 is going to be rough, man. It's going to be rough. And we also got to talk about the line of thunderstorms that will likely form day 3. So, as you can see, the National Weather Service, I mean, you're going to go under a high risk if you're in southern Mississippi. There's no doubt about it. Not with the moderate risk that's this size. Especially if you get a high risk, the moderate risk will have to expand as well. So you'll get most of the Tennessee Valley under that. Overall, it's not looking like a very friendly day. All right. Your wind threats are pretty dang high. All right. I mean, 45% is the highest. Actually, it's the highest it goes. Your tornado, 50%. All right. 10% hatched risk. I mean, EF2 plus tornadoes is no joke. That's what hatched means. And categorical. All right. Let's just read what they're kind of saying here. All right. Wind damage and tornado threat to develop and move northeastward and the Tennessee Valley. Y'all need to watch out. All right. If we get rain cooling, which there's still a sliver of a chance, even though if the HER's saying it, honestly, I don't really know what to tell you. Does it seem like now that the position of the low is... thunderstorm initiation is only like 7 hours away in Missouri. So really, at this point, the computers are too good. You're just going to know what's going to happen. All right? Very concerning look. Mobile, Alabama, be watching out. You're in that moderate risk. And let's do some super short-range HER models right now. So let's go to weather.con.edu. By the way, like the video if you enjoyed this, and like the video if you want to stay safe, because I'll be on here. Alright? Y'all all know that Ryan Hall, y'all, is the best in this game, but I'm at least going to try my best to catch up to him. I think that I can cover the events not better, but about the same, and I can give some more insight into the Tennessee Valley. So I hope that proves valuable in the future. Let's go to the HER. Let's use 13Z. Let's use 13Z in Missouri. Right, so your initiation literally happens in 3 hours. Storms bubble up in 3 hours. So the position of the low pretty much is exact. Alright? What's going to happen on the HER obviously is going to change. But what we can look at to see like what future models will look like, especially at 18Z, which I'll make a video when the 18Z comes out, is that it's not looking so good. It's looking like it's trending more and more north that rain cooling area. So now Kentucky and Tennessee, you might get rain cooled. Thank God. Nashville, we don't need you getting hit by any more tornadoes. They get hit by tornadoes all the time. Here's your initiation. Nice Boeing segment there. Pops off. No, actually, this isn't your main thunderstorm initiation. It shows, this is weird. It shows initiation of some thunderstorms, but not all the thunderstorms, just some. These go up. Then the main event, which shows the track of the low pretty accurately. That's the real initiation, right? Supercells everywhere, all right? These are violent thunderstorms. And some more Boeing segments over up in Iowa. And then those kind of track towards the Chicago area with initiation starting down south. And by the way, let's move down south just to see that latest area of initiation for you guys. And I mean, the HER clearly displays a thunderstorm cluster of some kind. And that cluster is going to generally track in this direction, right? And that it'll move. So right now, this is 3Z. So this is like 1 a.m. Maybe midnight, basically. And these will be through here, I know, judging by the time, by 5, 6 a.m. And then the atmosphere will clear out, and then you get what the 12Z said. So before I end this video, we're going to end it, not only with a subscribe and a video for you, but we're going to end it with the 12Z HER. I'm just going to let it play through, and we are going to watch it. And then when it's done, I'm going to end the video. Like and subscribe. Thank you, everybody, for all your support. Thank you for the views. I thank you so much. And I hope everybody stays safe. I hope this was important to you. And I hope you have a better timeline on the severe weather tomorrow and that there's no uncertainty. See you guys in a couple hours when the 18Z comes out.